Going on, Matt? Hey, Kyle. Not much. Hey, what's going on, Ray? Good evening. We got, what, 30 people on right now? What's up, Matt? Bruner, a little awkward, but thank you.
What do you say?
Love you. Hey, Richie. I am riding in a Chevy, and that's the point of this video. I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas. It is a beautiful day after torrential downpours. I think we had a foot of rain that fell here over the last 3 days. Solid axle swap. I'm pretty sure we're not going to do that to this truck. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, it's been pretty bad. A lot of people's houses have been destroyed. So this is the 5.3 liter Vortec. Yep, we are in the $10,000 Chevy. What's going on, Mr. Lunatic? Are you in a flood area, or did you miss most of the flood portions? A Chevy. It runs real nice. So guys, the reason why I'm doing this live view is because I just recently posted a video of the $10,000 truck essentially in the shop getting some work done to it. And what I wanted to do was really give you guys a live explanation and maybe answer some of the questions that you had about this truck. A lot of folks out there basically made the claim that this truck is not worth $10,000. They said like $5,500 or $8,000, and I wanted to try to get on as soon as possible so I could talk about it a little bit more. Now, there is one final video in this series that I really suggest y'all watch, and the reason for that is because once you see what was done to this truck to get it in the condition it's currently in, you're going to really be amazed. I imagine you will, unless you just have a bias towards used vehicles. Now, this particular truck, when we first spotted it, had just been traded in. I mean, they literally just traded this truck in at the dealership for a brand new Silverado. So we saw it while it was outside of what they call their reconditioning department, and they call it Recon at AutoNation. They basically spent about $12 million on this new reconditioning facility that they use to essentially take vehicles and put them in what they consider sales-worthy condition. So this specific truck was parked out there, had, you know, a marker all over it of different areas and different things that they wanted to essentially take over. By the way, I'm not the owner of this truck, and he's sitting right here driving. But the main thing that I want to point out is that when we were searching for a truck to hit that $10,000 bracket, it was very, very difficult to find. I mean, how many places we searched all over Texas, all over basically the southeastern United States, and we couldn't find a truck. We really, really tried to go out of our way to locate what we thought would be a really good truck for this segment. Now, we did find some trucks that were in the $11,000 price range, but ultimately when we went and looked at them, they had body rust all over them, straight through the panels. They had mechanical problems. They were leaking. From the outside, they looked okay, but when you really started looking at the condition, it would have shocked you to see the true condition these vehicles were in. So this is really a good value. I don't really understand why people say they can find a $10,000 truck with lower miles. We're right at 105,000 miles on this thing, and it runs perfectly. The funny thing is the new owner actually ran into the old owner of the truck, and the only reason he got rid of it is because the old owner's father offered to buy him a brand new Z71. What's going on, Ian? You want to go to Mustang Island, Daniel? We're kind of in a route, but I don't think we're going to go that far. So, questions. What's on the agenda today, guys? 2.5% of my viewers are from Iceland. Interesting. I think a large portion of my viewers are from Australia and the UK. Yeah, mainly. And a lot of viewers are from kind of the Detroit, New York area, and a lot of course, are from Texas. Now, I don't know how many people are here in Corpus, but I'd like to run into some someday and talk to them. I know I had one subscriber that chased me down waving his hands, and I was on my way to daycare to drop my 4-year-old off.
Not really the time.
Yeah, not really the time to pull over and say hi to a fan. Hello to Bakersfield. Got 104 people on right now. So what mods have been done? So this truck has a ranch hand brush guard that was already installed on it. It's got a Pro Comp 4-inch full suspension lift on it. It's got 18-inch Pro Comp wheels, as well as Pathfinder 34, 35-inch mud tires. It's got a Clarion CD player right here. It's got two 12-inch subwoofers and a Kicker 1000 amp in the back. It's got bed rails, Nerf bars already installed. It's got quite a few upgrades to it, honestly. Hey, Kelly from Katie. Dave, thank you for joining. Hey, Joe. I don't know if many of you have been out here, but this is essentially the drive that takes you from Corpus Christi to North Padre Island. Beautiful, beautiful area. This truck sounds amazing. It really has a great exhaust system. Hey, Ryan from New Mexico. How's the sound coming through? You guys picking me up okay, or sound muffled? This is a half-ton truck. This is a Chevy Silverado 1500 extended cab Z71 with a 350 V8 in it. I am in Corpus Christi, Texas, on our way to North Padre Island, Texas. The new F-150 diesel, that is a good question. I was actually supposed to attend a media drive in Dallas for that vehicle, and I wasn't able to make it, so I'm going to be attending one in Houston coming up pretty soon, and I'll have the truck for a while, so I will give you my impression of that truck. Thank you for the $100,000 100,000 subscriber congratulations. I think your name was Superpower. But guys, you really should follow along in this series on this truck. I'm attempting to do a series on trucks in the $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, and $30,000 range. And quite frankly, it's hard to find trucks. I mean, right now, I even have somebody that's looking for a $20,000 to $25,000 truck, and finding one that meets his needs is very, very, very difficult. Down there is Doc's Seafood. They're real busy right now. This one has 105,000 miles on it, but the interior of this truck is in excellent condition. We have just entered North Padre Island, about to be merged into with a Nissan. Who do you think will win? Nissan Rogue, Z71 Chevy? This is the entrance to Padre Island.
I honestly can't believe I got this truck for this price, because the amount of searching we did, the amount of searching we really did is insane. I mean, every truck I looked up or saw was heavy damage or salvage or
hidden damage,
or the price was ridiculous. This is honestly just a needle in a haystack find. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. You know, we came across a 2004 F-150 FX4 package truck and a 2002, and they both had relatively low mileage. The 2002 had unbelievably low mileage. It had like 50, 52, 56,000 miles on it, something like that, and the outside looked pretty good, but when you opened it up, it looked like it had 300,000 miles on it. Yeah, this one has the shift lever on the floor. This is not the push button shift lever, or whatever they call the select to shift
I've actually
system.
heard people having problems with that select to shift and the auto four-wheel drive, so I'm actually pretty happy that I have the manual.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, but The reality behind four-wheel drive on these things is that they all still go through the four-wheel drive actuator up front. So all it really does is trigger an electronic actuator to put the truck into four-wheel drive. Should we take it real quick out on the beach?
Sure.
Let them see what that looks like. Only got 80 people on right now. It must be an awkward time of day. I thought I'd have more. 79 people dropping off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to Dallas anytime soon. Oh, kids' bedtime. Yeah, that's true. Especially for you guys over across the pond over in Europe and Africa, Australia. Jim, thank you for still being here. Am I black or white? You know, I think it's obvious, but I'm not going to answer that question. You want us to pick up some hose? Well, we got to go to Lowe's for that then, so we can. They have a whole assortment of hose. I don't know what you're talking about, Papo.
Pole.
What's going on, Eric from Lubbock? Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your F350 Platinum. The color, oh, I don't know what color you are. I'm skin tone. How about that? Hey, from Hawaii. Mahalo. Stop at Stripes. There's the Stripes on every corner in this town. It's actually funny. So Stripes gas stations are the big gas station here. There's one right there. And there's one right there. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Lake Stevens. I don't know where that is. It's driving great. Well, Brian, you tell them how's the truck driving? How does it feel to you?
It's driving amazing. I mean, it's so smooth, so clean. You know, it's not pulling. It's awesome.
What is the most luxurious truck on the market? Well, that's a hard one to say. I mean, everyone has their own opinion. Some people like the Denali. Some people like a Platinum King Ranch or Limited, and some people like Laramie Longhorn or Limited. So it really just comes down to what you like.
Maybe it has to be those luxury trucks like the Lincolns.
Hello from Tennessee. Oh, it's hot down here. It's probably near 100 degrees outside right now. Guys, I don't know why you can't believe I'm in a Chevy. I do reviews on all of them, and I pretty much brag about them all. Some people think I'm just 100% biased towards Ford. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm not biased towards any brand. I'm biased towards features. So if one truck has features that I like that another one doesn't, well, I'm going to look for the truck with the features I'm looking for. It's basically like dealing with home builders. If you say all three home builders build really good homes, but you want to use a home builder that builds more colonial style homes, well, then that's obviously going to limit you to a certain number of home builders. So I am absolutely not biased towards Ford. I'm not biased towards any brand. I don't hate any particular brand. I do believe the smart approach is you are critical about any brand that. Sorry, guys. So I've made that point 1,000 times about, folks that really like Chevy, which is great. We're in a Chevy right now, but I think the Chevy should e-coat their frames. I think they should put rear air conditioning vents and all those different things. So I have absolutely no problem being critical about a brand, but it does not mean that I'm biased against that brand. I mean, Brian here, he'll tell you when we're looking for trucks, was I biased? Was I directing you to buy any particular brand?
Not at all. You pointed me towards Toyota. You pointed me towards Chevys, Dodges. I mean, every brand imaginable. When this came up, it was a steal, and you really pushed this vehicle. It wasn't this Ford looks better. It never came to that. It was always what was the best cost and what had the most reliability and the features.
Absolutely. So that's the whole point, is when shopping, shop by features, shop for what you're looking for in a truck, and be less focused on brand. If you don't care about features that maybe a Super Duty has or a Ford has, well, don't look at Ford. If you're looking for the best price, find the brand that has the best price for the features you're specifically looking for. I think at the end of the day, that's really what everybody should do when they're vehicle shopping. When I bought my first Super Duty, I had absolutely no intention of just getting a Super Duty. I looked at all the trucks from all the manufacturers. It just happened to check the box, the most boxes that I wanted from a feature perspective. Bruno, you're asking some very personal questions. It does come down to the knickknacks. That's a great way of putting it. It comes down to what you specifically want. I know that there was a message earlier. Does the truck, or what models of trucks have massaging seats? Well, there's only one truck that offers that. So if you really travel a lot on the road and you want massaging seats, if that's an important feature to you, well, you're obviously going to check one box that a truck has and the other ones won't be able to be checked. So it's going to narrow your search focus down.
That was the same year Chevy that I just passed, and it was a rust bucket. You see so much rust on it.
That's the thing, guys, especially down here in South Texas. Trying to find a truck that's in the condition you might really want it in is a little bit more difficult than you may think. And we're in truck country down here. This is where each dealership lines their front of their parking lot with hundreds of pickup trucks and offering you 10, 15 grand off the price sometimes. But ultimately what it comes down to is finding the truck at the budget you're looking for. He happened to be in the $10,000 budget. We got this truck for $10,500. They did $3,600 worth of work to it. You can't ask for more than that. The truck just turned out to be a great truck. Now, are you going to go through the sand or around the sand? No, you don't need to go through the sand. Yeah, we got some flooding still from got a foot of rain.
Where should I go?
I don't know. What do you think? This has a good amount of power. I am really surprised. First of all, if there's anybody that doesn't like the sound of a 350, they just need to move to China. Secondly, the reliability of these engines is great. And it sounds amazing. It really does. This truck has a great... When you see the last video in this series, and I hope you'll tune into it, you'll really see a little bit more about what was done to this truck and what it shot. So I still got some editing and stuff I got to do on that one. Do some donuts. Somebody else do some donuts. 2 requests back to back to do donuts. No, because there's a beach police out here everywhere, and
I'm not that kind of driver.
There's another channel that would probably take a Corvette out on the beach and do donuts, and that's not this one.
I'm not that showboater.
Okay, I think I'm back. You guys have no idea when you're holding a camera how exhausting it can be after a while. It really can. I should have brought my gimbal with me. Makes things a little bit more stable at least. What's the best taco place in Corpus?
Ooh.
In Corpus? Probably Eddie's, right?
No, I like El Rinconcitos. It's on pork.
That was him in his Hispanic accent. You only live once, do some donuts. Well, you may only live once, but your vehicle may only live once too, so we're going to avoid the donuts. He's not that type of a driver. So I say that, but then the minute we end the video, we're going to do some donuts. Taco Cabana went out of business down here, so Taco Cabana is a franchise brand, and franchise brands other than Taco Bell don't do well down here. We're literally in an area where every corner is a Mexican restaurant.
Especially the Jalisco's.
Yeah, we have this restaurant chain called Jalisco's, and you probably, 25 of them?
Yeah, they number them.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the best.
Kelly, have a good evening. Feed them a bunch of sweets. It is a very nice Silverado. Gotta just be outright and honest.
That sounds nice.
No, it does not have leather. This is as cloth as they get, but they're actually in really good condition, and it's really nice cloth. So this is the beach. This is North Padre Island. This is kind of the tourist mecca. If you guys recall, well, we got a lot of rain down. Sorry guys, the service out here on the island is a little bit flaky at times, so it drops off a bit. This is a extended cab, so it's got the suicide doors in the back. And you got some guy running down something.
Chasing down a Frisbee.
Chasing down is that a Frisbee or a water bottle?
It's a water bottle. Wow.
Well, people picking up their litter.
That's amazing.
You're a true American, my friend. Not anymore. They're not aftermarket anymore. They are stock. And you'll see that in the new video. Interesting. Just passed a Ram with a King Ranch logo on the side of it. Notice that?
Yeah, that's what I was like, what is that?
That's interesting. And then, of course, you can't be in Corpus without a BMW being parked out on the beach.
Oh, yeah. Man, I really wish it was loose. Because I really want to test it out, the four-wheel drive. I'll test it out. Let's see how it goes.
You can test it out if you want. Go about 2.5 feet into the bay and let's see if we can get out. If we can get out, it works. If we can't, I'll make another video all about it.
So they say I can keep rolling and go to 4 high. Should I try that?
I don't know, guys. So I have not been in a Chevy, a 2005 Chevy, since 2005 when I owned a Chevy. I actually had a 2500 HD with a Duramax at the time. And it had push-button four-wheel drive. So do you have to be in park or neutral to put this thing in four-wheel drive? I don't know. There is the ocean.
Oh, it's an M. More irrigation.
Oh, it's an upside-down King Ranch logo. Interesting. Neutral helps.
Now, complete stop or rolling?
I would say a complete stop if you're going to put the truck in neutral. You know, I get a lot of flack because people watch my videos and they see one of the main highways that we have pretty much in all my videos. So this is kind of the other side that I usually don't drive out to very often, but it's pretty nice.
So I'm in 4 high.
You're in 4 high? It's showing that you're in 4 high in the dash, so.
Oh, it is.
Daniel, thank you. You're a plethora of information on 2005 Silverados.
I'm sure 4 low is a lot different.
Thank you, Jeff. I know he's testing four-wheel drive out by driving over hard compacted sand right now that Saturn is driving over as well. So, well, I don't really know if this is the environment to test it in unless you're going to try to get it stuck. The Ford's in the shop. It's broken down. I'm kidding. The Ford's fine. It's parked at the house. Should have bought a Ram, right? Anytime I say, I can literally say that I dropped a pencil on the floor and somebody's like, should have bought a Ram.
Do they know who I am?
No, not really.
Okay. I'm the one who owned the 2000 Dodge Ram 1500.
Yeah, he got the complimentary light bar on the front of his truck
I got the light bar.
just for knowing big truck, big RV. I'm having a footprint gas pedal installed on my truck. That's why we're not in it right now.
in the shop.
It's in the shop. Any questions, anybody? No questions?
Other than the color.
Church and the color of my skin.
Show your arms.
How much do I spend annually on my truck? I don't know, honestly. I don't keep track. Miles per gallon of what? This truck or my truck?
This one, I think, is 7.
This one, I think, on a good day, he'll get about 17 combined.
A lot better than the Ram, though.
I am an engineer. And if you want to know specifically what I do, I work on designing complex equipment for government and federal agencies. Well, at least that's part of what I do. That's the fun part of what I do. If I could have any truck package, what would it be? Well, I'm going to say that I could have any truck package, so the truck that I currently have would be the package that I have. So, well, you know, and this is to who's that person that just said every Ford he owned has problems? Quite frankly, you know, it's one of those things that you could have owned a bad batch, or honestly, if I had problems with any of the Fords I had, it might convince me to not buy a Ford again. But the reality behind owning a truck is most of them are pretty dang reliable now. A lot of the problems that you may have had 15 years ago, 10 years ago, or even more recently with one on any truck is probably just a fluke in that specific truck.
The same way with my Dodge.
Yeah, same way with this Dodge. I'm sorry, Mechanic Steve, go ahead and ask the question again. The questions kind of go flying by, so I can't respond as quick as I'd like. Mileage on my F450's been pretty good towing, but again, you got to remember it's got 430 gearing, and when I tow, I probably get between 11 and 13 miles per gallon. Would I trust a 70,000 mile truck towing a travel trailer? It depends on the condition of the truck. If that truck has had all the preventive maintenance done to it, then absolutely. It really comes down to how you take care of your vehicles. You've taken care of that vehicle well, then you'll probably have good luck with it. Have you ever taken your truck in for warranty work? No, I've absolutely not taken it in for warranty work at all. Do you like a luxury fifth wheel camper? Thoughts? Yeah, I like all, honestly, as long as it has the features and the floor plan we're looking for, I really don't care about anything else. I like to consider myself semi-practical. I spend a lot more time in my truck than I do the fifth wheel, so naturally we got the truck more equipped in a way that I'd be happy with every day. Lance makes some very, very good equipment. Very, very nice truck campers, and even their small travel trailers are very nice. Very cool. Engineering's a fun job. Well, maybe not all engineering, but if you love what you do, that's all that matters. .450 mileage, not towing between about 12 and a half and 14. I've gotten 15 and a half once, so not especially great. Hey, no problem. Glad you enjoy your Girl Guard. We are waiting a turn to go down the beach, and I think we're going to wrap it up at some point. No, being an engineer was not my first career choice. Driving a big yellow dump truck was my first career choice when I was about 6 years old. But all the way through school, I wanted to be an engineer. I got about 12,000 on my truck now. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. Yeah, on a really good day, I might get 15 or 16. And it's not fast.
What are you talking about?
My truck. I think he's talking about my truck. Well, thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that. I have actually driven a Colorado. If you go back in my videos, about 2 months ago, did a Duramax Colorado. Full review. What do I use to clean my seats? I think Meguiar's. I'm not sure what I use, honestly. I don't clean my truck very often. You may think my truck is spotless most of the time. It gets a bath about every 6 months. No problem. We're going on the other side of the beach real quick. Have I considered a custom fifth wheel such as a New Horizons? Not really. And mainly because dealer support is going to be your tricky one. If you have a problem, even if they're very helpful, it still requires you to either take it to them or someone to come out to you. And quite frankly, when you're driving a home down the road, you're experiencing an earthquake and a hurricane and a tornado combined. And to me, something major does need to be addressed by the dealership. So that's one of the reasons why I'll probably stay with more of a mainstream brand and just be sure to bring my toolkit with me. That was a big bump. We're coming across a real big one. Am I a fan of motorcycles? I am kind of a fan of motorcycles, even though my family's full of motorcycle riders, but I've never personally. I've ridden a few motorcycles, but I've never considered myself a rider. Now, what's the best place for seafood in Corpus Christi? I would probably say Water Street would be a good place. Depends if you want fried or not. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. If you want fried or grilled, black and that kind of thing. There's a place called Saltwater Grill. It's also really good. You know, there's another YouTuber, a real popular one in town called Thresher Fishing. And I need to get up with him at some point because he's always out here fishing. We have pretty much the same number of subscribers. He's, I think, ahead of me by about 7,000 now.
Probably more now that you promoted him.
Yeah, I know. Now he's boosted up. Hey guys, I got to give a big shout out to actually my friend's channel. It's Brian's Lawn Motors. He reviews tractors and lawn equipment and talks to you about the whole process of being a small business owner. Definitely check him out. Brian's Lawn Maintenance.
It's not me.
No, this is a different Brian. This guy's up in Detroit, I think, or at least in that area. Now, if you want to see people that enjoy a good adult beverage 42 times a day, just come out here to the beach. I am going to stay on for another 3 minutes. So if you got any questions, now's the time to ask them. Papo, I did not see your question. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm actually doing this from a smartphone, so the questions fly by pretty quickly, and I can only see about 2 or 3 comments at a time. So if I don't respond, just repost it and I'll try to respond. Answer the question, please. Scroll back. You're very demanding. Honestly, it depends on the fifth wheel you're getting. It depends if you want to do modifications to it. Not exactly the easiest thing to do. If you lift a pickup truck, you are going to have all sorts of issues towing a fifth wheel, clearance issues. New Ranger, when I get my hands on one, I'd be able to give you a better review. But honestly, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't go a little bit more bold with the design. To me, Canyon, Colorado, they kind of look very similar to the Ranger. They're all about the same. But that compact pickup truck market has really come back. What's the hardest part about hitching to a fifth wheel? Well, if you've done it before, you do it several times, nothing really. That's very nice, Papa. I would recommend, if you're the one that sent me a message on Facebook, I replied to it. If you're going to lift, if you have a lifted truck, you have to really look at lifting the fifth wheel. That's really the only other option. So they make kits that essentially extend the suspension attachment points so you can raise about 2 or 3 inches, or 4 in some cases, but you're going to have to really look at fixing the tire setup, the suspension setup. You're raising your center of gravity, so it can really come with a lot of other issues that you have to keep a close eye on. Everyone kind of heard that Ford's coming out with a 10-speed for the Super Duty. Not 100% sure how accurate that is. Fifth wheel backup camera recommendations. Actually, I have a video coming out on that, Bill. What I've found is when you get past about 38 feet with a fifth wheel, your camera signal gets really, really flaky. It's really hard to find a system that does great wirelessly. In terms of, wow, there's a big, you can probably wash your truck if you drive through the, if you get in the left lane and drive through that.
That's salt water.
It shouldn't be. It's rainwater. It's the beach. This is fun. On a 2002 F450, probably Bilston. Hey, Drew. Do I like the Dallas Cowboys? Guy next to me does.
Love the Dallas Cowboys.
I honestly, I came from Florida originally, but I don't mind the Cowboys.
In Dak, I trust.
Because the teams that I like in Florida just pretty much suck. Why doesn't Ford put the EcoBoost in a 250? You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a V8 EcoBoost option for a 250. I think that would be pretty cool. I like all Peterbilts. Christopher, that's a really good question, because at this point, I really don't think any of the trucks need to have more power. I think they really need to focus more on just making the trucks longer term. I would rather see them reduce some power, and I made a video about this, but offer a longer term warranty. I think the world demands a 250,000 mile warranty on a modern diesel truck. The 12-inch screen, not really. I drove around the 2019 Ram for a while, and I really liked the 8.3-inch Uconnect or 8.4-inch Uconnect that truck had, because I still like some of the knobs for the air conditioning controls and things like that, and I really don't like going to a full touchscreen. I really disliked some of those features on the Land Cruiser that I drove as well, because to adjust like your air conditioning speed, your fan speed up and down, you had to go to the touchscreen menu, which I think is kind of absurd. Florida Gators used to be amazing. You're welcome, Chris. Up to 99 viewers. 100. Any more questions? What do you think about fifth wheel independent suspension by Morryde? I think it's a heck of a cool system. It's definitely one that if you're going to add it to your own coach, you got to be careful, because it requires a cross brace, a cross member, several or two of them actually, because it's going to put much more lateral stress on your suspension. So you have to be very careful with that. Yes, Chris, they're all great. Hello, Big Truck, Little RV. Interesting name. Probably, Matt. I'm pretty much going to try to make just about every type of video. Clay, I don't show myself because I have started, and that's a great question, actually. I started my channel basically all about the thing that I'm filming, whatever I'm at, whether it's filming, the frame of a truck, or doing a review on a vehicle, or, just dealing with the things people I think want to look at. And when you put yourself in front of the camera, you kind of change the dynamic of things. You kind of change what the content's about, and you have to make yourself more about, you have to make the video more about yourself than the content, I think. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't shown my face. And I did a poll recently, and even though the people that wanted me to show my face kind of outnumbered the people that didn't made more compelling arguments. And I really think that those arguments are kind of the epitome of why I don't show my face. Now, if you come down here, if I do a subscriber meet, if I do some type of event, or I go meet at another event, you'll meet me in person, and you'll see that I'm just a normal guy. And, those are the opportunities where a lot of people have met me in person, and they, there's anything special. And quite frankly, what's special is the content. It's not the person behind the camera, in my opinion. And the four-wheel drive was working properly, Emily. Thank you very much. That is actually a very relevant question. I want to be focused on the vehicles, on the thing I'm reviewing, because you make camera time. I mean, and a lot of super popular YouTubers show their face in every video. I just started watching this one channel where a guy essentially turns metal junk into really cool things. And he shows his face, but his video editing skills make mine look like I'm a 3-year-old with crack on an iPad. Why don't heavy-duty manufacturers focus on fuel economy? That's another good question. I think that trucks could have better fuel economy if they maybe reduced a little bit of the power. Nobody's trying to drag race a diesel truck. Thank you, Clay. I appreciate that. Greg, I appreciate your view of my disembodied camera views. The 2019 F450 frame is bigger. It's not necessarily bigger. It's the same thing that comes on the F350 and really an F250 if you get a long wheelbase truck. And the metal itself is thinner than the C-channel frame was. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. Going back over the bridge. This is the causeway. This truck has a ton of mods on it already. I don't really know besides the bed liner, which he's still kind of up on the fence about, and I'm not going to give that away. But yeah, the bed liner, and that is poop on the windshield. So thank you for pointing that out, Adam. It does have a lift. It has a 4-inch Pro Comp lift. And it drives very smooth. Yes, I have reviewed both a Chevy and a GMC 1500. Not the 2019 model. So Juan, if you're talking about a 2019, I have not reviewed either yet. Marcus? Not sure I understand the question. The Power Wagon is a pretty cool vehicle. I wish they offered it with the Cummins. I think that would make it the perfect vehicle, but, you know, offering it with the Hemi is not a bad thing, but I think a lot of people want the torque that you get with the diesel. Turning radius, towing, and payload are the big differences of an F450. Really the only differences. I will have a Nissan Titan next week, so I'm going to be reviewing. I will have it for a week. Nissan is sending it down, so I'll be spending a week in a Nissan Titan Pro X crew cab. Yes, I believe it's going to have the Cummins in it. Four-wheel drive trucks are expensive right now. Four-wheel drive are really quick. The Chevy 6500, when it comes available, I will happily review the Chevy 6500. Christopher, if there is a package, I think it's an aftermarket package, but I don't believe there's a stock package for the Power Wagon with the Cummins. His steering wheel is, if it's angled to the left, it's just barely angled to the left. You know, cars used to be big on angling their steering wheels like a degree or two off. And the main reason why is it felt, for some reason, I guess if you passed out while driving, the vehicle would veer off the road as opposed to oncoming traffic. Thanks, Order. Destroyer about 12,000. Road noise isn't that bad. There's a little bit of an air leak up here near the window. It's real subtle, but probably put some wind deflectors on to try to address that. This has Pathfinder tires. They're actually pretty nice. They're very quiet, very smooth. They don't make any road noise at all. I do not have a CDL. I have a Class A non-CDL. So if you ever watch any of my videos where I talked about how dangerous it is to drive without a Class A, I wasn't referring to a Class A CDL. I was referring to a Class A non-CDL, which is if you're not driving commercially, but you are exceeding 26,001 pounds as a combination vehicle, or if your trailer is in essence over 10,000 pounds. We are in a 2005 Chevy Silverado extended cab Z71. Whataburger.
Oh man, that sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that question about not showing yourself in the videos. Now, personally, when I look up videos, so I have a new truck, so I want to look up new mods, new things to add to it. When I see videos of somebody talking in front of the camera, it takes me away from what I'm looking for. So since, you know, I'm looking for a new headlights or a new head unit or something of the fact, I remember looking up a backup camera system, and the guy was just talking in front of the camera. And I really wanted to just yell at him and say, I want to see the camera. I want to hear how, you know, good the quality is. In the last 15 seconds of the video, he shows the camera and he shows the quality of the video, the quality of the camera. That just takes me away from that channel. So when I look at this channel, Big Truck Big RV, it's not about the commentator, but it's about the product and the quality.
Thank you. And that's my goal, ultimately. Ram Ison transmission. Think it is an absolute beast of a transmission. You get a Ram truck, get it with the Ison. Now, the 68 RFE is not a bad transmission. So if your budget, or if the only selection you have is the 68 RFE, and you're not going to be towing too heavy, then it's also a really good transmission. But the Ison is definitely a heck of a transmission. I don't think we have a Banza in Corpus. So you may have looked at Auto Trader and seen $10,000 trucks, and I've seen several of them as well. But the fact is, until you get it into a shop, you have no idea what it needs in repairs. You don't have any idea how the previous person drove it. You don't know if there's rust hidden on it. You don't know what condition the truck is actually in. This truck looked like it was in great condition. It drove great. We'd looked really hard to find problems with it before they took it to the recon department and started breaking down what they found. And like Brian said, he would have bought the truck off the lot in the condition it was in for the 10 grand because it just seemed like it was in really good shape. So you have really no clue, unless you've followed the life of that truck, what's happened to it, what accidents it's been involved in, which ones have been reported, which ones haven't. And to just say I found a truck and it's in better condition, you really have no way of proving that unless you've taken the truck to a mechanic or a shop that has a true interest in making sure that that truck is in good condition. Which, when this truck went through the recon department at AutoNation, they really hunted for any possible problem, and they came up with a list that we idea about unless a mechanic broke it down the way they did. I absolutely like Chevy Silverado trucks a lot. I think they're great trucks.
Auto Trader, Harvard's, Craigslist, AutoNation,
Everything.
bookmarks on my computer for about 4 to 5 months. Every day I'd go on it.
Bruner, if you send me a check, for $80,000, I will take my truck anywhere you want me to take it, including off-roading. I will send you my PayPal address. You send me an $80,000 check, and this truck, my 450, I'll drop it off a cliff and make a video doing it. I do have an Instagram. It is instagram.com/BigTruckBigRV. Just started it because I know very little about Instagram. Sorry, guys. YouTube is like a full-time thing, guys. What happened to the viewer's ride segment? I found that it was difficult to do logistically, only because you didn't really know what the quality of the content you were going to receive was, and it's really hard to edit it when you're not 100% sure what type of video you're getting in. So I'll probably do some more Reader's Ride segments. I enjoyed doing it. It was just kind of a challenging segment to do. Not a problem. What kind of wheels on this truck that we're in now? If that's what you're asking, it's got 18-inch Pro Comp wheels on it, two-tone, black and polished. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut down this live event. I hope you all appreciate it. I hope you liked it. If anything, if you want me to do more of these, let me know. I'd be happy to try to do one of these occasionally. Of course, I can't do it while I'm driving, so this was kind of the perfect opportunity, and I hope that you all liked it. Thank you. Appreciate it, everyone. I will try to. Have a great weekend, everyone.